Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and hi if you're new here, I'm Jade. And well, I thought it's about time I sort out this TBR. It's crazy. If you've watched any of my more recent videos, I probably have mentioned a few times just how crazy my TBR is right now. I have way too many books, and so I think it needs a little bit of organizing. And I thought, why not make a video about it? Because I feel like, it's January, it's a new year. Let's get organized so that I can really take down the number of books on my TBR over this year because it is insane. I'd love to say, oh, I'll clear out some of these books, but honestly, I would say at least 95% of them are books that I definitely really want to read. Honestly, I don't really have anything to get rid of. The only reason it's got so out of hand is honestly, I've just been weak willed this year and I bought a lot of books in book sales when they were good prices because I was like, oh, this is cheap for America because I'm not used to like the high prices here. So in the UK, I'll just wait and I'll just get things whenever. Whereas here, I'm like, oh, there's a good deal. I need to get it because otherwise it's so expensive. And I want to say last January, I filmed like a what's on my physical TBR video. And a lot of that has changed. There has been a cycle through of some of these. Some of them are the same just because I've been buying books a lot this year. But honestly, most of these are new purchases. I think when we filmed that last year, the cart was completely full and I think I had like one small pile next to it, but now I have two massive piles next to the cart sitting right behind me. I also have another book box over there of stuff like that I got for Christmas and things. So I'm like, we need to deal with this. Let me show you the situation. So this is our current situation. There's actually three piles of books next to the cart, not two, like I just said. It is a little bit insane, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't even really want to count these, but I probably will end up counting them. So yeah, there is a lot to sort through, and I just think by being more organized and having them organized into, I don't know how to do it, maybe like genres, series, or something like that. We'll see. At the moment, this kind of little corner is like series I'm in the middle of and that I'm continuing with. I definitely want to keep like a section like that, but I have started more series since, and some of them are definitely mixed up now. So, yeah, kind of need to work through that. And I also have this box sitting over here with several books in it. There are two piles right there. So, yeah, I definitely need to sort through those too. And I do have my Crescent City books that I got for Christmas. These are technically on my TBR, but their space was saved on the shelf, and you know what, I've just put them in there to like help organize and clear space a little bit because I'll get to them when I get to them, but it kind of just gives them space and out of the way because I really need to like clear up the floor so it looks better. And so yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm kind of spontaneously doing this right now because I had a client cancellation for my last one of the day, so I was like, I have like a spare hour or so before I need to cook dinner, so I was like, let's start. If I don't finish, I might end up continuing this in the morning before I teach tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, I was like, I just need to get this done. Also, I am pre-recording a lot of videos because when this goes live, I'm pretty sure I will be away in the UK. So I'm sort of pre-filming a few things just so that you still get your weekly uploads while I'm not here. So the question is, how do I organize my books? I'm thinking of sort of making piles of like series I'm yet to start and their counterparts, series I've started and their counterparts, and then kind of like standalones, and then maybe block by genre, maybe, perhaps. The trouble is there's so many books I find fit into two genres and then it stresses me out. Obviously, by the end of this video, I would have organized it in a certain way, but I will take any criticism you have or any sort of good ideas you have if you think I should have done it a different way by the end of this video. Let me know how you do it and maybe I'll change it around at some point. But let's see how we get on. So for example, this is a book in a series, so I will put it there. I will join anything else I have in that series and yeah, start organizing. I think I'm going to organize it into all piles and then we can go through those piles and I'll explain it to you where my brain's going because you're not going to want to watch me sort through all of this. The video would be very long, so I will be back shortly. I think I have finally put everything into piles. Tato come to join me, but luckily he stayed out of the way, just chilling on my new footstool. But yeah, I am sweating. Like, it's not even a hot day. Like, technically this room is not even that warm, but the amount I have just carried books around and moved them, I'm sweating. So we currently have an empty TBR cart and now it's time to try and organize it. So yeah, it seems really weird having this empty again after all this time. Now, this little pile right here, they are sort of more like Christmas books, and honestly, I just feel like I'm not going to reach them for a while, so I'm not going to actually put them with my TBR. I'm going to put them away and then put them back on my TBR at some point. But in case you're wondering how many books there are, I will include them in a count. Kind of the same for Crescent City, with the fact that I will be doing that. Oh, and excuse my vacuum out there. I decided to vacuum under where the TBR cart had been because I never really get to do that because I can't move it once it's full. And excuse my phone stand. I was just using that to film a second ago. There we go. I've moved it. But basically, we have kind of organized, and I'm sorry if I've got this wrong. If some of these belong in a different category because I haven't got time to Google all of this. I'm just doing it from memory. This is more my like standalones, kind of more like general fiction, contemporary fiction kind of pile. Then we've got these two piles which are romance based, so different sort of romances, standalones. I believe they're standalones. Some of these might not be. I might have got it wrong, but they're kind of standalones. I mean, the Ellen Hildenbrand one isn't, but it's like a collection of short stories, so I just kind of put it in there, to be honest. Then we have a couple of piles of like thrillers, mysteries. This one at the back is more like classic based books. Some of them are rereads, but they're just ones I haven't read for so many years. I put them there so I'd read them again. This is more like sci-fi, historical fiction at the back. And then this pile is kind of like fantasy standalones or magical realism kind of vibes. That's kind of where we're at with the standalones. Then these two piles are sort of fantasy-based series, but where I haven't started them and I only own the first book. So that's these two piles. These are also series books, but not fantasy, that I only own the first of. Excludes the V. Schwab thing under there. I just took the books out to organize them. But these are series that I own at least 2 or more of the books, but I haven't started these series yet, so these are ones yet to completely start. This pile is other books in series I have started, but they're the only one left if they're not already in my like next to read pile. And then this little pile is the next books in series I'm in the middle of. So these are next ones. The once books, I've left both of them there because I don't think it matters what order I read them in, but they are still in series that I've started, so I just put them both there. But that's kind of where we're at. So yeah, as you can see, there are quite a lot. I feel like I've organized them best I can, and now it's just trying to like organize them onto the TBR cards. But I'm guessing some of you are like trying to guess how many they are. So now you've seen the piles, because obviously I haven't like shown you every book, and I would love to, but I feel like this video would go on forever. But hopefully you get a sort of good overview of what I have, and if there's anything you kind of catch a glimpse of and you're like, oh, I want to see what that is, please leave a comment. I'm quite happy to share it with you. Or if you want a full tour of everything on my TBR, let me know and I'll do a separate video to give you like an insight of everything. But I feel like you get a good summary in this one. But yeah, let me count them before I do anything else so we can see what we're working with. And yeah, take your guess in the comments. See if you're correct. Obviously, I won't make you watch me count them. I will go count them. And I'll be back in just a second. Okay, with the I've been round and counted. I did include the 3 Crescent cities that I have. Obviously, this could change by the time this video is posted. Although I don't think I'll get much more off my physical TBR. I think I'll be reading my kit from my Kindle while I'm away. But there is, in fact, 142 books on my physical TBR, which is a little crazy. But honestly, that's actually pretty much like just over a year's worth of reading for me. That's not actually that insane, which makes me feel better about not wanting to really get rid of many of these. I might force myself to if I don't get through enough this year, because obviously I will be buying stuff this year still of books that I'm really excited for, but I'm going to try and be better with that and really only buy the ones I really, really, really want. But I'm just such a sucker for book outlet sales, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so now we know where we're at with that. It is time to try and organize these 142 books. Crescent City have their space, even though they're to be read. My Christmas ones are going away. They were included in the count because, I'm hoping these will go in the later part of the year. Let's get organizing, shall we? To be honest with you, this is feeling a little overwhelming, but I think I'm going to start off by putting like what I do have to read next in series right at the front, so I sort of have them to grab and that I don't forget to like continue. And I know it sounds terrible, like I shouldn't forget to continue, but there are just so many good books I want to read, and I always am like, oh, what should I read? And then I don't reach for something. So I think having them right visible just makes the most sense, you know, to encourage me to keep going rather than keep starting new series or whatever, because things get complicated. Okay, so all my next to read books in series are now here displayed in the front of the TBR cart on the top shelf. They kind of fit almost perfectly. There's like one room for like one more book, but I'm sure there'll be something joining it soon enough. So I'm thinking I should probably just leave that gap, even if it means more on the floor for now, just so that it's a little bit easier to move things around. And now it's just working out where to put everything else. And I'm thinking standalones are better to be on the cart. It will just organize them a little bit better, and then do like series piled next to it. So it can be like, you know, series I haven't yet started and things like that next to it, because then I'll know to go there if I'm looking for something that's going to start a series. I feel like it'll be a little bit easier to organize like that. And then eventually, hopefully, I can sort of get everything off the floor and have like a standalone shelf and a series shelf at some point, but it might take a while. But yeah, let me start getting my standalones and working out what genre order and stuff to do with them. Okay, I think I'm finally done. That took so much longer than I thought it would. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have time before dinner to get all this done, and now I'm kind of rushing. Yeah, because I was like, I have a sort of spare hour. We're now on I want to say like almost 2 hours, like about an hour and 40 minutes. I was like, I really need to get going and make dinner. But thankfully, my husband got kept late at work, so it's kind of worked out okay. So, because this is my sort of teaching office as well, I want it to look not too crazy. So, what I have actually decided to do is I've put all my thrillers in my cupboard over in the corner, as well as like books in series that are later on if I haven't started them. As in, I've started the series, but like book two's waiting there. I've put like book three in the cupboard, for example, and then that will take book two space when I start that, so it can like rotate. And then I do still have some piles next to me, so let me turn the camera around and give you a little tour of what I've done. So classics and sci-fi and historical fiction, a little bit at the back there. These are series to continue. Then down here is my more general fiction kind of thing, with a bit of historical fiction at the back. And then on the next row, this is all romance. So these are romance standalones, and they've gone there. There are also some standalones in these piles. Let me shift along a minute. So this front pile are sort of my standalones, more like fantasies, whatever. Then we've got the first books of series I haven't started, starting with the random sort of genres at the top, and then all the fantasy below. Then this pile is all series yet to start, and so is the pile at the back. They're kind of my like more organized unopened ones because they don't really fall over. They're like easier to stack. So that's kind of how I've done it. So it still looks a bit messy in my office, I'm not gonna lie. Excuse it, you just saw a sneak peek of my Christmas decorations because yes, I haven't taken them down because I'm filming this early. It is only just January and I need to get around to taking them down before I go away. But yes, that's where we're sort of at. And then yeah, as I said, thrillers, Christmas books, and other random ones from series are in the cupboard, just so this doesn't look way too crazy. But there we have it, all 142 books organized. They all have their own space now, even if it's not perfect. And then hopefully my kind of goal is if I can get my TBR to more like probably like 100, I can probably get most of it in the TBR cart with like maybe one or two neat piles next to it. But I feel like that won't look too crazy. I just need to get it down a little bit. But I'm happy with what I've done today. It's definitely more organized. I'll be able to find things easier. I mean, when I'm doing my TBR jar, if I get like prompts like color covers, obviously it's still going to be very mixed. But at least genre-wise, I think I know where I'm headed. And I do tend to, when I pick my own stuff, I tend to mood read quite a lot. and I call myself a seasonal reader because I reach for certain genres a lot in certain seasons. So I think this is going to help me. And I think ultimately by having my TBR more organized, I will get through it quicker because I won't feel overwhelmed like looking at it when I'm trying to decide what I want to read next. I think I'll sort of think, oh, I fancy this, I'll head to that section and look. So I think this is going to help me overall. But as I said, if you have any ideas on organization and you think, oh no, you should have done this or that, please do let me know. It will definitely be something I consider next time I get around to organizing them again, because let's face it, it always gets messed up. It will need doing again at some point. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed watching this and enjoyed organizing them with me. How many books do you have in your TBR, your physical TBR? Let me know, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye!